So here's the story with this facelift 2025 BMW M3. It's the base version, which means it's rear-wheel drive, and it comes with a 6-speed manual transmission. Right off the bat, a lot of you are going to say that it's the wrong transmission for the vehicle, but the truth, however, is that this transmission and drive layout has 100% a place in the market because a lot of people are actually really attracted to this. And if you look at the used car market, there's a lot of manual cars like a BMW E60 M5, for example, that are so much more desirable than the equivalent automatic. Even the 911, until they became PDKs, everybody wanted the manuals because the Tiptronics suck. In this case, the DCT in the competition with the xDrive doesn't suck at all. But when it comes to having fun on a daily basis, I can tell you, nothing beats the connection you have from your soul to its soul through a 6-speed manual transmission. Yes, I know, this car will never be as quick off the line as an M3 competition with xDrive. Despite the horsepower difference of 50 horsepower, that's not the issue. Yes, this one will never be able to put the power to the ground the way the xDrive competition does. But really, a lot of people don't give a shit, including me. And it's especially with cars like this M3 that you do want this instant connection to the vehicle. It's not out of mistake or it's not a neglection that you can't get any other BMW with a manual other than the M cars. So for BMW to put a manual transmission in an M car, there's a reason for it. But let's talk a little bit about pricing, because in Canada, this M3 starts at just over 92,000 Canadian dollars. Optioned just like this, which is near perfection, it is 102,500 Canadian dollars, which makes it an absolute bargain when you think about what else can you buy with this money today. In the US, it's about 10-15 grand less in US dollars. In Europe, it's a lot more expensive than this. $5,000 out of this price is for the Dakar Yellow 2 color, which is part of the individual colors, and honestly, it looks pretty damn good. And in these kind of cars, you do want these popping kind of colors. This car also has the M Pro Drive stuff, which is really awesome because it includes the drift analyzer and all these M apps that are really helpful. Behind the controversially looking face lives an absolute marvelous piece of engineering, also known as the S58 engine, which is a 3-liter straight 6. It has 2 turbochargers, 2 monoscroll turbochargers, and it delivers more character than you can ever imagine. The cylinder head core is 3D printed because it's too complicated to cast in traditional methods. It has dual high flow intakes. It has forged pistons, connecting rods, and crankshaft. It's a closed deck design, and it's actually sleeveless. It has 2 high-flow monoscroll turbochargers, as we said. It has a liquid-cooled intercooler. It squirts fuel at a mind-boggling 350 bar pressure, which is absolutely insane. And the power delivery is almost the same as a naturally aspirated engine, because in this occasion, it makes 473 horsepower, and that comes at 6,250 RPM. Max torque is 406 pound-feet, and that's rock solid between 2,650 RPMs and 6,130. I mean, that's completely dumb. The 6-speed manual transmission is fantastic. 5th gear is traditionally 1-to-1. The final drive is 3.46. It has a really clever M-adaptive limited slip differential in the back, which basically is electronically controlled and works perfectly with all the systems on the car. 0 to 100 kilometers an hour is supposed to come in 4.2 seconds, or 0 to 60 miles an hour in 3.9. Of course, in these really wet and snowy conditions, we can't really test it, but it definitely feels like it's capable of doing that. Top speed is limited to 290 kilometers an hour. It sounds absolutely amazing, even though I do think it enhances the audio from the inside, but even from the outside, it sounds great. I mean, have a listen. This M3 has really nice driving modes. It has the M1 and M2 that you can customize to whatever you want. It has the M modes here that you can change quickly between road, track, and sport. And of course, if you go into setup, you can set up everything the way you want for your daily driving or your M1, M2. And I love, you can set up everything basically, even the traction control. It has like 10 different levels you can set it to. You can set the comfort of the steering, like heavy or whatever, light, Brake pedal responsiveness, you can do everything. Suspension, it's fantastic. I love the customization. These driving programs are phenomenal. And you have the little exhaust button here for the on and off, I think, of the valve and the sound system. But anyway, the shifter feels really good. It has rather short throws. The clutch also isn't really grabby, so generally it's a very easy manual car to drive. But I do have to say that on the highway, in 6th gear, and let's say highway speeds, you do kind of miss having at least one additional gear, because it is a little bit too noisy. So it'd be nice if it could, lower the RPMs a bit, because let's say at 120 kilometers an hour, it's at like 2,500 RPMs. It could have been a little bit less, but not really a problem. It doesn't drone, so it's not that annoying. And honestly, 5th gear in this car pulls like mad. It's like absolutely fantastic. Some people I spoke to kind of bashed that the manual transmission isn't, that great in the BMW, but honestly, it is, because it's not as hard, let's say, as a race car. Like, the clutch is nice and soft. It does auto rev matching if you want. You can turn that off if you don't want. The throws are pretty nice. I mean, it's not too rubbery. You don't want a car to be really difficult to drive, like the feel of the super sportiness, because you want to be able to drive this on a daily basis. So if it is that difficult to drive, you're not going to like it. But the way this one is, I absolutely love it. Ooh, struggling for traction. Oh my god. But the M limited slip diff in the back, oh my god, it does some crazy magic finding traction in these conditions and on winter tires, which this car is right now. Whoo! This car is fun to drive, man. Oh my god, it's so good. Inside, this M3 also gets a really nice updated steering wheel with excellent seats, and the dashboard has little splashes of M3-ness. Even the infotainment has M3 exclusive graphics. The heads-up display is also like a colorful thing that's only available in the M3. The seats are phenomenal. I love how they feel, how they support the body, whatever. Too bad they don't have the shifter, actually, is a copy from the E30. Like, it's carried over. It's exactly the same. But in the E36, it was backlit. The M would light up at night. Here, it doesn't do that. Too bad, because it would be really cool if it did. The M3, of course, has the same amount of room as any other 3 Series, and that means it's a very spacious and comfortable family sedan. It still retains heated front seats and steering wheel. It has all the modern technology you would expect. It also has a really good trunk. The capacity is 480 liters. It has a power lid, which is amazing. Rear roominess is pretty good also. Too bad you don't get heated rear seats, but at least you do get ventilation and USB ports, so all good there. And the handles on the outside, they're all comfort access enabled, which is great. The M adaptive suspension is also exclusive to the M3 compared to any other 3 Series. It has completely different springs, different dampers. The electronically controlled programming is completely different. The control arms are different. The mounting points are different. The bushings are different. The result is a really, really different car that still rides really comfortably but handles like an absolute dream. This car is an incredibly capable road sports car, but it can also become a very enjoyable occasional track car. It has really good brakes with the M compound stuff and 6-piston front calipers, so they do bite and stop the car really, really well. On the outside, the M3 is puffed up and wider than the regular 3 Series. It has all the splitters, the spoilers, the side skirts. It does look much angrier than a regular 3 Series, and I like it a lot. It has, of course, the face from the coupe, like the 4 Series, which the E90 also used to have, but back in the day, that face was the prettier face. Here, it's questionable, to say the least. Anyway, I think it's a really, really good looking car, and in person, it's not the most photogenic car, I'll admit that, but in person, it looks fantastic. Reliability is also very good. These S58 engines, they're really well built. They're, of course, based on the B58 engine, which, is obviously and commonly accepted as one of the best engines BMW has ever made. And if you drive it pretty sensibly, which I don't know how you're going to be able to, but it delivers pretty good fuel economy. You can even keep it under 10 liters per 100 kilometers. If you drive it the way I do and you gun it a bit, it's going to creep up towards 12.5, 13 liters, but that's still completely acceptable for what this car is and what it can do. Regarding complaints, honestly, there's not a lot to find here. I mean, yeah, we could have heated rear seats. We could have done without these stupid knobs here for the ventilation. We could have had the even brighter BMW orange, because this one is a little bit too pale for my taste. and maybe the steering could deliver a little bit more feedback, because it is really, really sharp. It has great weight, but it doesn't deliver much feedback, to be honest. But I think all electronic racks have that same problem. But honestly, for the price and what this thing is, only the Cadillac CT4V Blackwing maybe is a serious competitor. It's also a bit cheaper. And then, of course, you have all the stuff from AMG and the Audi RS stuff. Maybe the Acura TLX, but I don't think it could keep up with the speed. The Lexus IS with a big V8 is more muscly than sporty, so it's a little bit of a different style. Overall, I have to say that in this segment, my pick would absolutely be the M3. Like, I really can't see what else I would buy for this price. I mean, if you would expand the price, yeah, there's a lot of really good stuff. You can get the M3 Competition. You can possibly consider the M2, which is also a really, really good car. Then you have the M4. So there's internal and external competition for this car. I mean, obviously you can get a 911 if you don't need the rear seats. So anyway, great car with the M3. I used to absolutely hate the face. Now I really don't mind it at all. In an M car, I think it looks fantastic, and especially if you get like a black one, then it looks really, really angry. But yeah, love this car. Can't complain about anything. Even when you first start the car and you hear that, like how that S58 wakes up. It immediately tells you that, buddy, get ready for a ride. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. Please share it with your friends, subscribe. Most importantly, until next time, be well. Bye-bye.
Perfect.